Hi guys, it's Colette and it's Wee Coffee and Chat. For those of you that have subscribed in the last few weeks, this is my life updates, what's happened to me, my thoughts and things. Sometimes ask a wee question about what's going on in yours and stuff. But if you're here for teachings or the weekly tarot card, etc., this might not be the type of video for you, and you're welcome just to move on to the ones that are for you. But if you're here and you're going to stay and have a coffee with me, you're most welcome, and haven't done one of these for a wee while, so a lot's happened. But first, before we do anything, I want to say thank you to the people that have supported the channel over the last months, whether it's through coffees or PayPal. So thank you. We've got thanks to Diana, Jenny, Randy, Sonia, Kai, Riku, Haley, Mary, Donna Marie and David and Wendy, and I hope I've not missed anyone. Thank you all for your wee coffees and whatever. They do add up, which is lovely. And remember, if you are supporting me with a wee £3 coffee or whatever, that's fine, and please never give what you can't afford, because I would hate that. I would absolutely hate it. So anyway, where to start? Jim's a lot better, thank goodness. I would say he's almost back up to par. I think the shingles took a lot out of him, but he's okay. I managed, after doing 4 months watching, going along with a dietary pattern for kidneys, I actually, my numbers have stabilised out, so I'm at the top end of stage 3, which is not ideal, but it's not the worst thing either. So I reckon, I mean, there's nothing that can be done for it anyway, so I'm sticking with the things, you know, that you're allowed for healthy kidneys, and avoiding the things that have too much potassium or phosphorus in them. And I know a lot of people have been sending me, you know, good food things, and that's wonderful, but not a lot of them actually are okay for kidneys, because it's not really about, you know, the lack of, say, meat or stuff like that, or keto or whatever. It's about keeping potassium, sodium and phosphorus low, as well as protein. But I'm glad to say that, you know, when I first get the test done, over the next 2 they fell a couple of bits, and then the last one last week was back up to the original again, so yay, we'll get there. I'll still be tired and stuff, but I was actually beginning to get worried that that they would go down, but in saying that, everything's been so mad for the last few days that I probably have not even thought about what amount of phosphorus I'm putting in me, but never mind. So that's good news. Jim and I are starting to get that wee bit better. Well, what to start? There's a question I want to ask, is see if you'll reply to me about something. I managed to scrape my car and scrape someone's bumper. Completely my fault. It sounded worse than it was for me. I got off lightly with it. We'd been visiting my elder daughter in hospital. Her wee baby wants to come into this world soon, and the wee baby at that point was only 33 weeks. So doctors were making sure that the wee baby got steroids for lungs, and I'm desperately trying not to say the sex of the child here, because that would be unfair, you know, that I would say that. So wee baby, steroids, antibiotics, etc., and the labour seemed to slow down, and then we're back and forth. While she was in hospital on Saturday, I took my younger one to McDonald's. I had not had a McDonald's in about a year, so I was quite excited about this, because I never really eat anything like that. Probably really bad, as I say, for my kidneys. But we went there, and on the way out, it was mobbed, absolutely mobbed, the state it was in. And I thought I could get through between a bollard and this big 4x4. However, misjudged it a wee bit. However, what I would say is, again, I'd like you all to think about the way that you react to potential bumps or accidents, particularly if you're not at fault. Because what happened was, I actually didn't hear the noise, believe it or not. My hearing aids were in, but I didn't hear the noise. But my younger daughter heard this big scrape up the sides. I wasn't quite aware of how bad it was. It's not that bad. So I stopped the car as she was letting me know, and I hadn't heard anything, to be honest, apart, but I'd felt it. Now, the chap whose car it was walked towards the car, and I was like, oh my God, no, please. I mean, I could have actually burst into tears because we were worried about, my daughter's going into labour early. And the chap came up and did what he needed to do, and he must have seen I was a bit distressed. So he took me down to the side of my car and he said, look, this is... it looked awful. It looked as though someone had taken like a spade or a rake along the side of the car. But he said it's just surface. It's not that bad, so don't be too worried about it. Looked at his and the back bumper. But again, it's not the worst. But he was just so kind. He helped me reverse the car so that I wasn't blocking people. He rubbed at my car and said, look, that's okay, don't you worry. We looked at his and we did what we had to do, and I've been in touch with him since then, and I just couldn't have asked for a better person. Now, when he came sort of walking and I saw him in the mirror, I was like, oh God, am I really, is he going to yell at me? Is he going to curse at me or whatever? And, I said, I'm sorry, because it was my fault. It was my fault. There was no way it wasn't my fault. I'm sorry. And he said, it's okay, it happens to the best of us. And from then on, he helped me. And, oh my goodness, you'll never know what a difference that made to my day, because we had literally been at the hospital, we'd popped out to get something to eat, and this happened, and I was so all over the place. But he was an angel, and it's all sorted now, thank goodness. So please remember, if you do have a bump or there's things happen, just remember that the person that you're going to yell at, or the person that you're going to, sound off at, might be having a terrible day, and they might well be having something going on in their family that has made them just maybe that wee bit less attention span, put it that way. So that was that. The back and forth, baby's still kind of in there, but I don't think for too much longer, because it's getting, other things are coming through now. Now, when things get to a level, I might set up a wee healing circle. I'll just come on and say, please. But at the moment, I'm just letting you know. But yeah, all sort of prayers are welcome, and all healing and whatever for my daughter and my wee grandchild that's determined to get into this world way before they should. And I know that they'll be wee, but that's fine. Just want them healthy, So anyway, that's the situation. I've done the weekly tarot for the week ahead, and I've got a few fillers that I've done, like book reviews and stuff, that will be put up, because I don't see me necessarily being around to video that much in the next few weeks. And I'm asking possibly for even just support for myself, because thinking of a wee baby in special care baby unit it's scary in a way, you know. In saying that, I was £3 when I was born, 7 weeks early, so there we go. Now, is there anything else I said? No, that's about it. Apart from to welcome all new subscribers, and thank you for bearing with me. Also, I've received a lot of emails, people saying, maybe seeing one or two videos and saying, this is where I am, what do I do next? I can't really help out with videos like that because there's simply too many of them. But what I am doing is, if there's a lot asking the one question, I'll eventually do a video on it, you know. And I do apologise, but I can't even almost like say, you know, send a response, because every day I've got about 100 responses on YouTube, and maybe 50, 60 emails. And, you know, the channel's there for me to teach and to connect with you, but unless it's something very, very, very intensely odd, or you're just wanting to say, you know, I saw that video, thank you, or whatever, then the emails are difficult for me, put it that way. But yeah, I'm hoping that in a few weeks' time I'll be able to show you a wee photo, and you'll see me smiling without, it's like, one of my friends calls it smiling but with sad eyes. But it's just, every family gets times that they're praying for things to go right, aren't they? And I mean, I have bad knees, so I can't kneel down, but if I could kneel down, my knees would be worn out by now. Praying a lot, asking for a lot, and so are friends and family. So any good thoughts that are can come towards myself, my daughter, and my wee grandchild would be very, very welcome. But hopefully I'll be back at one point with a big grin on my face and a chuffed grandmother. Everybody's told me it's the best feeling in the world, and I'm so looking forward to it. So I thought I'd just update you. Oh, the other things were on Saturday, like when I say about having a bad day, I actually had got a pair of citrine earrings, which were absolutely lovely, and they arrived that morning, and although I was rushing to get out, I put them in, but I noticed that the catches weren't particularly good on them, the hook. So in the course of the day, I lost one, and my younger daughter was saying, are you doing an 80s look, mum, with your one earring? But I wasn't, and since I just got them that morning, I was quite miffed at, but at least I had one, and I thought I might find the other one in a coat or something like that. However, by the time I got back at night, I'd lost the other one. So I got a pair of citrine earrings, put them in, and within 12 hours they were gone. The other thing is, coming back from the hospital with the car all scraped, I come home and the country lanes up are full of holes at the moment, and I was going home in a hailstone shower like I've never seen, and I thought, oh my God, really? You know, between all the stuff that'd gone on, I'd also I'd let my daughter push me in a wheelchair around the hospital, my younger daughter, for the first time, because I just can't walk, you know, from ward to ward or from car parks and stuff. So that was a new thing, but you know, it wasn't that bad. The need to do it far outweighed any pride that was lost in doing it. And she loved doing it. She was like, that's my mum, you know, and I'm looking after my mum, and she made sure I was zipped up when it was raining and everything. It was a very different experience, but I'd always really almost like raged against the dying flame, but I'd raged that, I wouldn't be wheeled about unless I was actually in hospital myself and it was a porter doing it. But the amount of walking that would have needed to be done to get to maternity and get to the car park back, whatever, I just said yes, off we go. And we went for a wee whirl. And so there was that. Then there was the car. There's a few other ups and downs. And then after I got home shattered. And I sat down, and Nellie needed out. So I was just letting her out the back garden. And she went out, did her business, and then she has epilepsy. She took an epileptic fit, but the spasm that she had flipped her over through 2 puddles because the hailstones had obviously filled the backyard, and she hadn't a clue what was going on. So this fit took a bit longer actually to go than the other ones. So she's never really fitted outside before, which was she fits about once a month. It's not that often, but it can be part of the breed. She's a Chinese crested powder puff, and so I eventually got to bed about 2 in the morning and thought, okay, come on, and started all again the next day. But as I say, the kindness of the man about the car was something else. Jim, my Jim in the background is just the support of my life. He's so good. He's like, if I'm running about or doing stuff, he knows that he'll just do everything else when he can. And that's a support. That's someone that just sees something needing done and goes and does it without actually even asking. He'll just do it and look after me. And say my younger daughter, she's very good with physicality and looking after me as well. And we're all very focused on my elder daughter who's having the baby. And there's been a lot of friends and family helping. The other thing was we'd had, I don't know if you know abroad, but the Scottish government brought in a policy where every child born in Scotland gets a thing called a baby box. Finland or Norway had done it, and it's a massive success. And it's across the board. It's just there, and it, but obviously it's really going to help folk. And the one come through for my daughter's wee baby that was on the way to our house. When we opened it, this thing's amazing, absolutely amazing. Baby clothes, baby room temperature thing, baby bath temperature, toys, sleep suits, little vests, maternity pads. It had the wrap that you wrap your baby in. It had a mattress. The box itself can be used as a sleeping place for like the first 5 months or something. Oh my goodness! It's a little zip up with teddy bear ears on it. It was jam-packed full of amazing stuff. And if that's where my taxes go to, well, I'm happy with that. So I'd like to say thank you as part of this to Scottish Government, because this has been a wonderful gift to my daughter. But for someone out there that's maybe not got a lot of anything, or maybe doesn't have much family round about them that would maybe pass on little baby clothes or knit a shawl or buy their maternity pads for them and breast pads or whatever, this is a godsend. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I can't let it pass without saying that, because more and more countries are looking to see, like Norway and Scotland, and how this is working. And to me, it's amazing. I wish I'd had it when I was having my two, because although I was working at the time, finances were actually really tight because my first husband had depression, and it would have been an amazing thing for me to get. So again, thank you very much, Scottish Government, for this policy that allows any baby born in Scotland to have the basics ready for them before they come into the world, even if they're coming early. So thank you. Right, folks, so a question. I was nearly going off without giving the question. This is going on forever, isn't it? Enjoy your coffee. My younger daughter and I, she's very psychic, mediumistic, etc., and magical or whatever. And the two of us are both Taurians. And life in general is quite spiritual, we'll both feel someone about, or we'll both think something's going to happen or whatever. So quite tuned in that way. But also the two of us are absolutely hopeless with like spatial stuff, and I don't mean that in a bad way, not absolutely hopeless, but like, to give you an example, we have ladders that go up the loft, or like that, and they go like that, and then they click in. They're not loft ladders, they're just ladders, and my husband's disabled, so Jennifer or Gillian go up the loft for us. So to get the Christmas decorations up, I call her my wee one, the younger one, the Taurian, Jill, is going up the loft, and we got the ladders out, she got the ladders out, and the two of us tried to clip them together and put them up. Couldn't manage it. We were looking at these things and up and down, and couldn't manage it. Jim came out and said, look, this clip over that shoe. Okay, so he took them apart and we tried to put them together again. No clue. We just couldn't seem to manage it. That Christmas, I actually managed to electrocute her by cutting through a wire on Christmas lights that she was holding. And what I was trying to do was cut the old lights off the tree. But I managed to look at things, say, yep, that's fine, that's safe, and still cut the live lights rather than the ones that were dud. The other thing was, there was something else. Yeah, we have one of these hoovers that you clip in and out the cylinder, like it's bagless. And she was wanting to do hoovering for us. I've got lovely girls, they're always looking after us, they really are, one way or another, they're always on point looking after us. So Jill was doing the hoovering, and the cylinder got completely full. She took it out, emptied it, and then we tried to get it back in again, wouldn't go. And so we called Jim, he came in and said, look, this is what you do, you turn it that way, make sure that's up, and click, that's fine. We tried it again without him there, couldn't get it. Now, we're not just talking about her or me, we're talking about the two of us together as well. Eventually we finally got that one, but what I'm trying to say is, like, is it, if you're more psychic and clairvoyant and whatever, did many of you notice that you're not particularly good with things like putting up deck chairs, or, would you be able to put up a set of shelves that weren't skew with? That sort of thing, that's what I'm trying to get. I just find that my daughter and I, which again, Taurians, we're sort of bulls in the china shop, I suppose, but the two of us are a wee bit clumsy, and we drop things a lot, and we're not, we've tend to have bruises as well because we misjudge doors or door handles. And I'm just wondering if it's because, I think it's generally because I kind of working from my aura rather than my centre. And I'm fascinated by this because, people would say, oh, well, that's right, but, and then there's the scientist, but my degrees in science. I've worked with pharmacy, pharmaceutical sciences, clinical science for years. So I do have a science background. Saying that, I was good at what I did, but in the labs, I would break things. I did some horrific things in labs that people would look at me like, it's like things like, there was, we were doing experiments with gases, and there was a hood that come down, and you put your sort of hands under it and did your experiments. And my first attempt at it, I wasn't doing it properly, so I put the hood up and then put my head in and pulled the hood down behind me, and then this massive iodine gas come off, and I ended up in the hospital. And I'm now allergic to iodine, but people knew, other people seemed to know just that this hood would be in front with your hands through. I thought it was just easier to put my head through and do it all in. And I've done things like that all my life. And as I say, Jim just almost takes over when there's something that involves a bit of well thought out. I can't understand it again, because with pharmacology, everything was step leading to step leading to step. It was such a thought process, but I suppose it was quite creative as well. Anyway, I would like to know if you are clumsy, or you have difficulties in certain ways, and do you think it's because you are more clairvoyant, or do you have a science background and you're very methodical in things, clairvoyant, and nothing like this is about you? I'd really like to know. So please put these in the description box below. The other thing is, I've not managed to get back yet on all the amazing things that have been put in for Psychic Development 19. I think it was the 2 cards about the with the scary monster on it and the wee manny. I want to give it my full attention, and I want to talk to you about it, and I want to really connect, but that's not possible at the moment, so please bear with me for that. And if anybody's putting up comments like, where's the answer, could anybody that's on it say, and has seen this, say, Colette will get to this in a wee while, and I would be grateful for that. So thank you everybody for supporting the channel. The link for coffees is down below. And still in the middle of all this chaos, feeling so incredibly spiritually contented, and I think that says a lot. But I have been praying a lot, and I've been using mantras a lot, and so maybe that's keeping it going as well. So please talk back to me, because when I'm needing not to worry about things, sometimes reading your comments and getting back to you can be a good thing, and it can distract me a wee bit. So I'll love you and leave you, and thank you, and I'll be back soon, hopefully with a big smile on my face. Many blessings now. Love you all.